Now, parents ask me this all the time. Is my child behind in reading? Now, you likely clicked on this video because you're asking yourself the same question. So what triggered this thought? Have you compared your child with others who are reading well for their age, while your little one is struggling to read half as fast and it looks like they ran a marathon in the process? What we need to clearly define today is where they should be. It is only then where we can see if they have indeed fallen behind. My name is Mark, and I've been teaching kindergarten and nursery for over 20 years, and I've guided hundreds of children through their very first steps of reading. I know the fear you're carrying. I've seen parents break out into tears because they were sure that their child was falling behind with little hope of them catching up. Now, they're all asking the same question. Is this normal? Well, the term normal is what I refer to as a moving target, and one of the most controversial definitions a word could get. The normal relationship, the normal family. Who defines it or dares to tell anyone these days what is normal? So let's take a step back for your own peace of mind and push the pause button on the pursuit of normal. Let's unpack what it truly means to fall behind and what you can do if you spot signs of a genuine struggle. I'll also suggest one incredible, simple activity that might really turn these struggles around. Now, children don't all walk at the same age. They learn to walk at the same age. Some walk at 10 months, others at 15 months. But before you know it, they're running all over the place and we're trying to get them to stop. Reading almost works the same way. Most children begin learning to read between the ages of 4 and 7. Now, that's a 3-year window of what most consider normal. Now, some are ready in preschool, while others don't take off until 1st and 2nd grade, and that's okay. That's a normal that most of us can live with. So if your child isn't reading fluently at age 5, it doesn't automatically mean they're behind. It often just means their brain is still wiring itself for the task. Remember, the act of reading is actually a very unnatural thing for our brains to do. Now let's talk about the signs that mean you can relax and trust the process. Now, the first is that your child enjoys being read to and looks at pictures with interest. The second is they know at least some letter sounds. They don't have to know them all. And they can recognize their name or a few familiar words. Now, another is like they pretend to read a book. Now, we know they're not reading it, but they're looking at it from memory. They're recalling things maybe based on the pictures. These are all signs of progress, even if they aren't reading full sentences yet. They show that your child is building the foundation they need. We can work with this. It's a great place to start. But there are also times when you should take a closer look. And here are some red flags that merit a little extra assistance. By age 6, your child doesn't know most of their letter sounds. Or they struggle to hear rhymes or break words apart into individual sounds. Or reading causes extreme frustration or meltdowns all the time. And by 2nd grade, they're still unable to read simple words like cat, dog, and map. Now, these signs don't mean your child can't learn. They just mean that they might need a different approach or an evaluation to rule out learning challenges they can't help at the time, like dyslexia. There are also incredible advantages to finding out how your child learns. Now, you've heard the expression, my child is a visual learner, my child is a hands-on learner, or my child learns best with songs and music. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and I'll go into the advantages of going down that rabbit hole in another video. In the meantime, think of it this way. You can't cook your child's favorite meal if you haven't paid attention to what they like to eat. Similarly, you can't give your child a tailored VIP reading lesson if you don't know how they learn. And please remember, getting help early is a sign of strength, not failure. In fact, it's the responsible, wise, and loving thing to do. The earlier we can properly support our children, the greater the shot they have at becoming successful, confident readers. Now let's pause and recap. Fundamental reading milestones are generally achieved between the ages of 4 and 7. If your child loves stories, knows some letter sounds and names, and shows interest, they're not behind. There is movement there, and any momentum, no matter how small, is cause for celebration. Watch for consistent struggles with sounds, letters, or frustration past age 6. These constitute red flags and means that we will need to assess and become better attuned to how your child learns best. I want you to know, comparing your child to others is a peace thief. It's not helping you or your child one iota. Reading is not a race to perfect fluency. Your child's journey is unique, and your love and support are more powerful than any stopwatch. The fact that you're here and asking these questions is proof in itself that you are the right person for the job. And you'll hear this often on this channel, and I mean this with all sincerity every time. The parents still make the best teachers. So if nagging suspicions and doubt persists, here's one thing we can start to do today. Building a daily habit of reading with your child. Call it reading cuddle or something catchy that denotes a warm and secure bonding moment. Start with a 10-minute session tops. When reading to your child, point to a few words and explore the vocabulary, the context, and how the artwork complements the story. If they are showing any curiosity, celebrate these tiny milestones. Make this a consistent and predictable feel-good event. No flashcard drills, no pressure, just pure parent-child bonding time. Now you would think this is a no-brainer, read to your child, but you would be surprised how many parents were humble enough to admit to me that they hardly ever read to their child, let alone setting specific times to actually read with them and engage. This simple daily ritual does more for literacy than hours of worksheets ever could. So, is your child behind in reading? For most parents watching this, they have just discovered that the answer is no, and I'm happy for you. They're right where they need to be. But if you do see red flags, the earlier you act, the more you set your child up for success. And believe me, there are comprehensive strategies and methods out there that can cut through just about any learning obstacle. If this gave you peace of mind, and I truly hope it did, remember that I have made it my mission to empower sincere and courageous parents just like you with the best tools and methods ever assembled to help your child read with confidence. You will succeed. Let me show you how.